So I've been playing a lot of games over the past month or two. A good handful of them I've put up full reviews for, but there are even more games I haven't talked about yet. These three are the standout titles from that bunch, and I wanted to give them each a little time in the spotlight since I don't really have the energy to fully review each one. Starting with Roboquest. This game is so much fun. It just got a big update in the beginning of the month, so what better time to jump in? The thing that surprised me the most about this one is the absurd amount of choice you have when it comes to playstyles. You can hang around each level picking off every enemy or just sprint to the exit. There's even a door that can only be unlocked if you get to it fast enough. So this is a roguelite FPS that's just about as addicting as can be. There's so many fun weapons to pick up, boons to unlock, and secrets to find. I really haven't felt this excited about an FPS since I played Overwatch back in the day. You can just absolutely fly around the map and feel like a supercharged robot while doing so. There are 4 difficulties, and I'm currently playing through on the easiest one because there are just so many enemies surrounding you at once, and I don't have the best reflexes. The boss fights are also very fun, and these comic-style cutscenes give you just enough story to keep you wondering what's going to happen next, while not getting in the way of all the action. I did have to tear myself away from Roboquest in order to write this video, and it's what I'll be going back to after it's done. 10 out of 10 game that absolutely deserves your attention. Plus, there's a free demo on Steam. Could it get any better? This one's really making me want to get back into pure movement shooters. Not sure if this technically counts as one, but who even cares? Next, I want to try out maybe Neon White or Boomerang X, and the demo for Echo Point Nova is phenomenal, just to name a few. Pumping the brakes and slowing down the pace here now for SIGNALIS. I finally played it, and it's another game that deserves the hype it gets. Classic survival horror with lots of locked doors, and I mean lots. And a wonderful dark and grimy sci-fi atmosphere. The game does this thing where certain moments are in first person, which makes them about 10 times scarier for some reason. I kept thinking something was going to jump out at me when the perspective shifted, but nothing ever did, which made it even worse. Now I do have one little nitpick, and that is with the puzzles. Some of them just weren't for me, I guess, and I really didn't feel like trying to figure them out, having to backtrack through the map again, and some other ones were just plain unclear. But that's what the internet is for, and for most things I did try my best to figure out how to progress on my own first. I also didn't like that section without a map. I get what the game was trying to do, disorient the player and make them use their old noggins, but this part for me was more frustrating than anything. Now it's time for some praise. I love the sound design. Even the main menu gives you a good sense of what's to come based off just a couple eerie notes. Sound is super important in any game, but especially horror games, and it's just amazing here. Aesthetically, SIGNALIS is obviously a vibe, we all knew that. Mechanically, it's the perfect amount of slow and clunky that requires you to plan ahead in combat scenarios, and I generally really liked the map layouts. Some great survival horror stuff going on here, and I really desperately want to see what Rose Engine is working on next. And for another drastic genre shift, the last game I have for you today is Isles of Sea and Sky. Now I know some people have strong opinions about pushing around blocks, but it is done very well here. This is an open world puzzle game with a fun island theme and some great music. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read somewhere that it has an average of 3 secrets per screen, and yeah, that definitely checks out. Some of the puzzles are harder than others, but you do have a lot of flexibility when it comes to the order that you complete them in. There is a very handy map that shows you each screen of whatever island you're on and what items they still contain, but it definitely doesn't give away all of the secrets. You really aren't given any direction, at all, which could either be a blessing or a curse, depending on your perspective. But man, some of these puzzles are genius. Block pushing is kept as fresh as possible throughout the game by new elements, environmental interactions, and block types being introduced at a steady rate. I haven't found everything in the game yet, but what I have unearthed has left me very impressed. Secret passageways, hidden ladders, and lots of stars to collect, which give you access to new areas once you've found enough of them. It's also pretty cool how all your items are shown up at the top of the screen. Watching it get more and more cluttered as you explore is very satisfying. Isles of Sea and Sky will make you feel like both a genius and a numbskull, but it's nowhere near as difficult as, say, the infamous Baba Is You. Those puzzles truly gave me nightmares. Definitely a cool twist on the Sokoban game and another easy recommendation. I might put out more videos like this in the future as my gameplay footage piles up and whenever I feel so inclined. We'll see, I guess. Thank you all for your support, whether it's clicking on my videos, leaving a comment, or even checking out my Patreon newsletter. I couldn't do this without you.